There's only one Delaware Park, the greatest one. Delaware Park, tradition lives on, excitement second to none. There's only one Delaware.
Away and running. Good even start. Mahomes' money, the long shot has dash, but so does striking speed and living water, and St. Hood for Brian is right there too. So in the first 100 yards, the early advantage goes to St. Hood for Brian. Tracked by striking speed and living water, and Mahomes' money came away a handy fourth. Weeby Shacken's going to have a wide trip today. Rockin' the Palace is front of one, and Star Street's a long looking last. The new leader, striking speed, takes the lead at the 3.5 furlong pole as St. Hood for Brian just plummeted through the field, and the favorites being eased at the back of the pack. So they round the 5/16 pole. Living Water has the lead. Striking Speed tries the counter in second. Weeby Shacken is eyeballing the both of them. And Mahomes Money's a distant fourth, and Rockin' the Palace goes out wide. Homeward bound now, and Living Water hugs that corner nicely and kicks away by one. Striking Speed continues to give game chase in second, but Living Water starts to pour it on in the concluding stages. Weeby Shacken is closing in to fight Striking Speed for the balance, but Living Water is nicely clear, and Living Water has won it over Striking Speed, Weeby Shacken, and Rockin' the Palace. Away and running. Nice even start. My Danny Boy breaks on top, but Kernis is tapped for speed, and Nautilus has to tap on the brakes, and English Bob is right there too. Bonded's committed to a 4 wide kick, and DeSantis is 5 wide as they navigate the first turn. Nautilus is now in that 6th place position in front of Stacks of Silver, and Deep Fates at the back of the pack. Midpoint of the first turn, Kernis makes play and shows the way by 3/4 of a length, and sensing a slower pace, DeSantis ups the ante with 6 furlongs to go in second, and English Bob stays a ground-saving third. Nautilus is on a cozy hold, 3 pats deep for the back of the track run, and Bonded chases that quartet of speed in fifth. Up the inside, My Danny Boy is 6 as Deep Faith tacks onto his speed, and last of all is Stacks of Silver. They're almost halfway home, and Kernis controls the clock and leads by a long neck, but DeSantis is right there applying that heavy pace pressure, and Nautilus is picked off one. English Bob with the money on needs to do a lot better than that in fourth. Up the inside, it's My Danny Boy, and Deep Faith is starting to circle on the far outside. 3 furlongs to go, and Kernis still calls the shots. Nautilus has sought the trip today. My Danny Boy tries to land third over English Bob, and DeSantis has no more to give. Here's the quarter pole, and Kernis still shows the way at the top of the stretch and leads by one. Nautilus is giving game chase in second. English Bob at no less than even money is a stagnant third inside the final 200 yards, and Kernis has made all and simply has a huge advantage. English Bob is now closing great big strides, but the finish line is coming up faster, and Kernis at 7-2 has won it over English Bob, who was second. Up the inside, My Danny Boy might have just touched third over Nautilus in that show photo. Away and running. Good inside speed for Whiz Bang today, but there goes the speed of Hidden Motive, and Ramil is right there too. So with 7.5 furlongs to go, Ramil from the outside draws 4 paths deep, but engages Hidden Motive for the fight for the front. And Whiz Bang came away a patient third. My Liam was a step slow when the starter said go, and the last two are by Tama Beer and Cacao, who was very reluctant to load. 6 furlongs out, and there's no pace on for the early leader. Hidden Motive calls the shots and leads by 2. Ramil is content to chase the pace in second, and Whiz Bang stays glued towards that inside rail in third, and My Liam the Gray in the first 3 furlongs situated in fourth. There's a gap of 2 back to by Tama Beer, and Cacao still trails at the back of the pack. So Hidden Motive has absolutely no excuses today, has the pace in his hands, and shows the way by a length and a half. Chasing is Ramil in the white cap, while Whiz Bang continues to protect that rail position. By Tama Beer is getting interested in that 4th place position. My Liam is a struggling 5th and nothing from Cacao. Here's the second turn for Hidden Motive. Still in hand, leads 3/4 of a length. Ramil is right there in second, and By Tama Beer is looping up on the far outside. Whiz Bang's in 4th, and Cacao's now picked off My Liam at the top of the stretch. Now Ramil takes the lead away. Now By Tama Beer is right there chasing in second. Whiz Bang is trying to close in. Cacao is starting a nice rally. They're a leg-weary bunch inside the furlong grounds. By Tama Beer huffing and puffing, trying to get past a stubborn Ramil. Cacao's late on the scene, but it's too late to change the winning outcome. Ramil, the heavy favorite, has won at 3/4 of a length over By Tama Beer. Cacao was third. Whiz Bang was fourth. Away and running. Good speed in the center from Rapid Response and Sassy Lad. They break 1-2. There goes the speed of He's in Charge and Island Delight. And as they settle down, Go Yoshka came away in 5th, chasing a hot pace. And BB Bad is last of all. So in this pace tug of war, they're going very quick here. And He's in Charge is under the gun by Sassy Lad, who teams up with Island Delight on the outside. And Rapid Response stays glued to the rail, but has no place to race. A distant 5th is Go Yoshka, and last of all continues to be BB Bad. Around the far turn they go. He's in Charge with speed on display. Sassy Lad is right there, glued to that one's every single move. Rapid Response eyeballs the both of them, pops off the fence. Island Delight is slightly struggling in 4th. Then Go Yoshka starts to pick up good velocity as heads turn for home. This is still wide open, and the first one to turn is He's in Charge and lets it out by 2. A good battle for second between Sassy Lad, Go Yoshka, and deep on the track is Rapid Response. Inside the 16th pole, He's in Charge popped and didn't stop today at 2-5. He's in Charge has won it. Rapid Response was second, Go Yoshka was third, and BB Bad was fourth. Away and running. A tardy start for Nanga Parbat. Good speed today from Downpatrick and Galleon Creek. Johnny from Boston holds the rail and return fires, adding fuel to the fire as they navigate this first turn. And If I Were You gets a wicked pace to chase in the early fray. Golden Owl goes very wide and unaffected stays ground saving. Big Andy Mort's in front of the slow starting Nanga Parbat as they're midway through the first turn. So on hold is Downpatrick and now is under a sedate gallop and leads by only half a length. Return fires right there eyeballing the speed in second, and Johnny from Boston is now 5 paths deep, leaving the first turn behind in a quick-paced affair. Golden Owl's even deeper than that, and If I Were You has a lovely run today if good enough and tracks the speed in fifth. Up the inside, Galleon Creek is now passed by Big Annie Mort, who tosses that blue cap into contention. Second last is now Nanga Parbat and unaffected trails. They're 4 furlongs before they meet the judge, and Downpatrick still shows the way, but return fires continuing to hound this long-time leader in second, and Johnny from Boston comes under a heavy ride and still trying to bridge that gap. If I Were You is on a ground-saving fourth mission, and Big Andy Moore tries to get involved with 5/16 to go. Downpatrick still calls the shots. Downpatrick's 20-1. Return fire is right there. The 4-5 favorite says go, and now responds, and up the inside, here comes If I Were You. That's the one who sought the trip, and Johnny from Boston fights with his rival at the top of the stretch. Johnny from Boston digging down deep. If I Were You is right there unwavering at the rail. If I Were You now inching away from Johnny from Boston in the concluding stages. If I Were You is a 6-1 winner over Johnny from Boston, Return Fire, and Big Andy Mort. They're all in line. Away and running. Catapulting speed for Hot Fudge Warrior. Breaks right on cue in the Obeah Stakes, but they quickly descend. Saddle Up Jesse is right there too, and here comes Venti Valentine, who's pulling hard. Miles of Smiles came away in that fourth place position. The pace is keen, and Frosty O'Toole is 3 paths deep. Evidencias rides that rail, passed on the outside by Ragtime Bell, and Magical Loot is last of all. So from the outside draw, Hot Fudge Warrior saves all the ground today, and she leads by 1. Saddle Up Jesse's pulling hard under Russell's hands in second, and Venti Valentine is right there, and all three of these gals are on the same page in the Obeah. There's a gap of 4 back to a traveling Miles of Smiles who's off the rail, and now Ragtime Bell starts a methodical move and teaming up with Evidencias. Deep on the track is Frosty O'Toole, and Magical Loot is still last of all. 4.5 furlongs to go, and Hot Fudge Warrior has no excuse today, sets the pace with 4 furlongs to go. Chasing in that second place position is the favorite Saddle Up Jesse, and still eyeballing the speed is Venti Valentine. Deep on the track is Smiles of Smiles, and here comes Evidencias, getting closer in that yellow cap with 3 furlongs to go. So Hot Fudge Warrior still calls the shots, but Saddle Up Jesse glides up to this long-time leader. Evidencias is satellite, and on the outside is Venti Valentine. Magical Loot tries to rally as they turn to the top of the stretch, and Saddle Up Jesse comes calling for the lead. Hot Fudge Warrior trying to stick with this rival. Evidencias takes a solid bump to Venti Valentine. 4 across the track on the Obeah Stakes. Saddle Up Jesse not out of the woods yet, and here comes Evidencias with a mid-track burst of speed. At 5-1, Dancius is the Obeah Stakes Champion to beat Venti Valentine, Saddle Up Jesse, and Magical Loops. Away and running. Good inside speed today from American Peaches. There's the yellow blinkers of Hey Back at Ya and Trace Maria's Dream. Looks to give Jamie his fifth win of the day, and the early advantage goes to Trace Maria's Dream. Hey Back at Ya gets over the rail to be in a clear-cut second, and American Peaches broke on top and then soon outpaced. And Kennyland is last of four, so it's a nice and easy lead for Trace Maria's Dream. 2-1 at last glance, shows the way by a length and a half. Hey Back at Ya is going to have to get a little bit closer in that second place position, and American Peaches continues to glide up against the rail, and Candyland still last of the four. They race down to the 5 furlong stick, and Trace Maria's Dream has it all her own way today and shows away by a length and diminishing tail. Hey Back at Ya is on hold, but getting closer without being asked in second, and American Peaches continues to scrape the paint in third, and Candyland, sensing that slower pace, tacks onto the other three ladies as they pass the four. Trace Maria's Dream still holding on to the lead, but it's down to a half. Hey Back at Ya is going to take a crack at this rival at 3 furlongs to go. Candyland now picks off one rival, and American Peaches has dropped to the tail, 5/16 to go, and these two ladies take their cat fight to the quarter pole. And Hey Back at Ya now comes calling for the lead. Trace Maria's Dream will try to counter in second. Candyland has 4 lengths to find. American Peaches still last of all. They race for home, and Hey Back at Ya with a nose in front. Trace Maria's Dream battling back with Stephanie Resolve, and these two go toe-to-toe in the final furlong. Trace Maria's Dream battles hard, so does Hey Back at Ya. Trace Maria's Dream digging down deep. Hey Back at Ya counters right back. Trace Maria's Dream has won it over Hey Back at Ya, American Peaches, and Candyland. Away and running. Botching the start was the 2, Miss Lady T. Good speed from Bravo Regina. Turbo Millie's right there too. And there goes the long shot, Shay My Name, to take the leading roll away. And Luminous Roller now chases the hot paces. Luminous Ruler floats out, 'Tis the Amazing Lady. Vanzalo, or Little ground saving in the early mix, and last of all is Miss Lady T. Around the first turn they go. Shay My Name makes a break for it today and leads by 2. And Turbo Millie was hustled hard when the starter pressed the button today. And Bravo Regina is on a patient hold in that third place position. Luminous Rulers 3 paths off the rail in fourth. Tis the Amazing Lady teams up with Funzalo. And last of all was Miss Lady T. Midpoint of the backstretch run, and now Turbo Millie turns up the heat. On Shay My Name, these two are 1-2 as they get ready to pass the 4 furlong pole. And Bravo Regina still in hand, and the jockey hasn't moved a muscle yet. Funzalo is now getting closer in that fourth place position, and Luminous Ruler chases the top 4. Miss Lady T's in front of 1, and Tis the Amazing Lady puts the Q in the rack. There's 3 furlongs to go. Turbo Millie's the leader, but now a big time threat coming from Bravo Regina, and there's the green cap of Luminous Ruler going into the top 3 positions. The quarter pole looms for Turbo Millie, who's still in hand and in command and leads by 3 authoritative lengths as they spin to the top of the stretch. Turbo Millie kicks first and leads by 4. Bravo Regina is chasing in vain. Up the inside is Funzalo and Luminous Ruler just at this one pace, but Turbo Millie came with her running shoes on today, and the last of the day and the last favorites home. Turbo Millie is an 8-5 winner over Bravo Regina, Luminous Ruler, and Funzalo.